I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian at Whisper Status 74. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you are seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing. We are real tech for real people. Today's video is on the Samsung S95B Quantum.OLED or QD-OLED. Very, very excited to be able to do this video and bring you this content, as this is probably the most exciting jump in TV technology that we've seen in many years. The information and the display will be presented by dear friend, owner, and founder, Mr. Robert Zahn of Value Electronics, who will also be doing the presentation, and the unboxing will be done by Robert, his wife Wendy, and their daughter Leanne, who are the main team at Value Electronics. Special thank you to Value Electronics. Check the description below, and please consider making your next AV purchase through them. Without further ado, Mr. Robert Zahn.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thanks for inviting me back again to the channel. And hello to everybody who's watching and visiting today. So today, I want to be very grateful to Samsung for including us in the early allocations of the new Quantum.OLED TV, an emissive display. This is a new category, a new technology category for displays. And this is model number S95B, like Bravo. It's a 2022 model. It's just releasing. It's available in 55 and 65 inch. We've shipped all of our 65s, and we were only able to hold on to a few extra 55s for this week. But we have a huge allocation of 65s, and 55s are in plentiful stock right now. So this is the first time I've ever seen people that will actually take a smaller screen size than what they want to get the value and performance in a quantum dot technology for an OLED TV. What's different about this quantum dot TV than we've ever seen before is that this is now quantum dot technology on an OLED emissive display. So they've taken the best emissive display technology, OLED. They've taken the best color generating technology, quantum dot, and they've integrated those two technologies together to give us the best results that you can possibly get from any digital display video picture quality. So everybody has seen a lot of people talking about this already. It's a gorgeous TV. They have a new video processor this year as well, the NeuroQuantum processor. So they've upgraded the processor, not just the panel, the new panel being new. This TV sales, I've never seen sales as brisk as they are. They're strong and steadily coming in. The interest and the adoption rate on this television has been amazing.
Very interesting for it coming out first in Samsung's lineup, Robert.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. And today we're going to be unboxing this TV, showing you how it's set up, showing you the menus, and we'll also be giving you our first impressions. I'm standing next to Samsung's 98-inch QN90A, another gorgeous example of Samsung's advancements in technology. It's just awesome to see a TV with this kind of picture quality and that size. So that's been
very exciting year for Samsung. They also have their QD, their Quantum Dot 4K and 8K panels, Robert. They have the QN90, which is already out, which is considered one of the best LEDs out there, as well as the QN95, which we'll see soon, won't we?
QN95B, which was a surprise for the US to get, will be out in mid-June. The QN90B is also a very excellent mini LED, quantum dot, and they also have in 8K. They have the 800B and the 900B.
Yeah.
So they have the beautiful 8K mini LEDs as well. So this is a big year for television advancement from all the brands, and it's a delight for someone who's an enthusiast like myself to see these new panels come out.
Well, there's an irony too of you standing in front of the first QD OLED at 55 next to their largest consumer panel ever made. And it's kind of indicative of what you sell here and what you have access to.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
As well as, again, the QN900B, which we'll see. The 800 we'll see as well.
That's right.
95. And very exciting year for Samsung.
Indeed it is. Yes, it is. Thank you. And thank you again to Samsung for including us in these early allocations.
Thank you so much, Robert. Samsung was one of the very first to spearhead looking out for our environment with more minimal packaging. However, everything is very securely packaged. Everything is safe. Nothing moves, but using less material. They were one of the very first to spearhead that initiative. The OLED is extremely thin. Again, this is the 55-inch. There is Leanne and Wendy doing the unboxing. It feels very, very premium. There's the stand there in Leanne's left hand. Very thin, one of the thinnest OLEDs I've ever seen. And again, less material, minimalist in terms of packing it, but still very safe. Look how thin that is. The base is larger like most OLEDs. Here's the stand here, one piece of it. Love Samsung's center stand design, very sturdy. Also gives the panel a higher elevation. Quickly, Leanne is also going to show us the package which comes with the solar powered remote. In the US, we have the One Smart Remote. Takes a little getting used to, otherwise it's very good. And you have your power supply cable, your red and whites. Very basic in that regard. And here we'll see the stand, as well as the secondary part that slides in. It only comes with 4 screws. And then there are notches on the back of the panel built right into the body of the OLED, which Robert and Leanne will show you now. Brushed metal back, beautiful, silver. Again, very premium. And you can see the notches right there. The stand slides down and the weight holds it into place. And there we are with the stand, and you'll see these 2 latches here which lock it in. Excellent design, very, very impressed with it. Okay, Robert, something you wanted to add about the connections?
Yes, I am so happy to see the manufacturers embracing ATSC 3.0, the next gen of TV over the air. This has that tuner built into it. So you're going to, no matter where you live, you're going to want to get the old antenna working again up in the attic or on the roof. So you'll see uncompressed, lossless, over the air. Everything will be 1080p or greater. Some of it will be 4K. All of it will be HDR. All of it will be 10-bit instead of 8-bit. So you're going to see picture quality from over-the-air free television like you've never seen it before. Lossless, uncompressed, minimum resolution 1080p. It's really a big upgrade in the over-the-air free television connection. This TV includes that next-gen tuner.
And we have all HDMI 2.1.
All 4 inputs are HDMI 2.1. The full 48 gigabits.
So we even have the gaming symbols on them. That's pretty cool.
That's right. It's also 4K 120 hertz capable.
Thank you again, Robert. As we looked at the back of the panel, the brush metal, again, very, very premium. As we lift it up on its stand. This is the best part of unboxing, is revealing the panel and then pulling off that plastic. This is very satisfying. Now, it sits a bit higher than other OLEDs as other OLEDs have gotten more low profile. I like how this stands up. I'm sure it's to accommodate a sound bar as we show you the profile here. Slide these remotes out of the way. Again, very premium look, very basic, very sleek, all OLED. That's the way I like OLEDs to look. You can't see the name anywhere. Very, very beautiful. Now here we go through the setup. Now the setup is very brief and pretty bare bones compared to other Samsung panels. but the brightness is evident from the very beginning of the setup. We're going to skip through the setup. It's been done quite a bit. Get us right into our demo material. But I think I didn't speak enough on just the fact that we're using an OLED from Samsung is unprecedented in itself. Again, known for their LCDs, LEDs, and mini LEDs, 8K lineup, 4K lineup. I never thought I'd see the day. As we go in here and actually disable all of the ecosystems and the brightness limiters that are there automatically when you power it on. But it is just interesting to be able to sit here and use a Samsung OLED. And why I want to keep reiterating that is while we're going through the setup and going through it, you can, if you've ever done a Samsung before, as we go into our first demo material, which is one of our favorite demos on the entire platform, I'm actually in a bright room. The reflection handling on this panel is ridiculous. Now we're in filmmaker mode to start, so it's one of the more dim modes, but considering how bright it is, other than that little tiny bit, you can't see anything. And as I adjust the settings of this panel, you would think we were in a kind of dark room. It's actually the middle of the day. This is as you walk straight into the store, and just due to space and timing, we kind of had to put it here for now. But it's one of the few OLEDs that you say, well, I don't need to put this in a dark room right now. I think we're good right here. And again, reiterating it to Samsung is it feels so much like I'm working on the highest quality LED. You have to remind yourself that it's an OLED. It's almost the LED of our dreams. I'm a huge LED fan, always pushing for that technology to succeed. And I feel like we actually have that. However, it's in the form of a Qd-Oled. The wider color gamut is evident. The saturation of Samsung is evident. However, it doesn't seem to feel, we are again in filmmaker mode here. It still remains accurate and realistic. Now, my goal is really to give you the perception of how it is out of the box. We will have these calibrated. But for me, it's to show you how spectacular and bright and saturated the display can look. Now we've moved into standard here. The clarity is off the charts. And it will still push blue on camera. And this demo material we've seen on many LEDs, many OLEDs, and it is unreal. Now what's funny is I'm filming this, it almost appears that it's getting darker. That's how much more this panel is popping. Now seeing these demos again on other OLEDs, you are seeing color that you don't typically see. And as much as I've liked Samsung's quantum dot LEDs in the past, it was kind of hard to spot the wider color gamut. These demos look different. Now, I'm not looking to create the most accurate image. Plenty of channels will do that. And again, we will do that in the future when we do calibrate this. However, for me, I do want to go in and see how bright and how saturated we can make it look. As the majority of you watching will be viewing it this way, you will be utilizing it this way. Now, though I haven't enabled any of those features yet, advanced contrast, enhancer, dynamic contrast, things of that nature make a huge difference on this panel and bringing it to life. But keep in mind, you're always reminding yourself that it's an OLED. It really is giving you the best of both worlds. Bright, punchy LED specular highlights. Now here I'm going through the picture settings, just showing you how much the image can change with the presets. What I do love about the quantum dot OLED, especially with Samsung, is the flexibility to make the OLED look as much like an OLED as you like. However, having the headroom to make it as bright and vibrant as you like. You can make OLEDs look brighter with your vivid modes, things of that nature. But I'd say standard mode in this preset on this Qd-Oled is brighter than any OLED I've seen on Vivid. And even if you do push this panel onto dynamic, it doesn't feel like it shouldn't be. Look at the difference in just the contrast enhancer. Now the contrast enhancer, though it's something that most people disable, this panel can handle it if you do want to enable it. The image doesn't immediately look to have noise. It doesn't seem to have aliasing everywhere. So that's why it reminds me of an LED in that regard, as you can make it look as poppy as you want. But with LEDs, you do lose the blacks. Now here we are on some of my favorite demo material. And again, watching this material on every panel that I've had in the last number of years, it's great to see that extra bit of color and extra bit of detail. Now I'll tell you, I am blown away by the panel. This panel is only 55 inches. I find it to be very impressive. Again, I'm used to larger panels, so I had to dial it in a little bit and set my expectations. Very beautiful, very detailed, very clean. And towards the end of the video, we'll go through some demo material and also show you with some of these features how much they can make the screen pop. Now, as I mentioned, there are a million other creators giving you calibrated settings, things of that nature. Not looking to do that here today. What I want to show you is what you will see at home out of the box. If you are a fan of Samsung, this will be a dream come true, as it is what their LED lineup could never really truly achieve, is high specular peak brightness with a black level. Not mini LED near black, but OLED black. Now here you can still see it's very bright in the room, and if you do go back to that image, it looks bright. You can see it here. Now watch it just disappear as the screen gets color on it. It's as if I completely disappear out of the reflection. Boom. It almost looks like I'm darkening the room as we go. Excuse me. The shells have more color. There is more detail, more color. Now I've seen this on many different panels in the last few years, many different manufacturers, from mid to high to the highest end ever made. And this is the best I've seen these demos look. Now, 18 minutes in, I will tell you, as wonderful and as amazing as this looks, it's not time to throw away your current panel. Yes, these look amazing. They are a brand new technology. There is more color, there is more vibrancy, while maintaining those deep blacks. But in many ways, what you have is still amazing. Do not let this make it feel less so. But for me personally, the first time I've seen LED peak brightness with an OLED, not with a panel trying to be an OLED through micro LED, mini LED, dual cell, a true OLED. Now, many of these demos you've seen, but not with this detail and not with this amount of color. I believe we're in standard mode now. You see how the reflection, look how everything just disappears. The reflections literally disappear. And on many OLEDs, you would still see me. I'll be returning back to VI Electronics tomorrow to do some PS5 gaming. And I will be in a completely dark room for that. But I was beyond impressed. Again, reiterating, I've seen these demos on everything, and these are the most detailed that I've seen them. Now they are smaller. It is a 55-inch due to pixel density. It is cleaner. However, I've seen 48-inch OLEDs before. But the color And Samsung known for that. It's good to see Samsung going back to that. Saturation. However, saturation under control with accuracy. Really, really impressed with them. Now, many of you are waiting for larger sizes. This is the 55-inch. The 65-inch was sold out immediately. Robert was kind enough to have me open just one. And even this one is spoken for. It is awaiting calibration. But we will be sure to revisit this panel once it's fully calibrated, probably at the 65-inch size. For me, the panel is way too small. I can only imagine the punch and presence a panel like this will have at 77 or 83 inches. I would love to hear from Samsung what the plans are in regards to the larger panels. But for many people, they are actually buying 65-inch panels instead of their larger panels they've been looking at because it's that impressive. Now, peak brightness is what you will always hear. I've said it, many others have said it. To me, if you knock the brightness down, the color is what speaks to you. And again, you can tone all this down to its most accurate, but letting it run half wild in standard is gorgeous. Now, as far as the panel itself, it's very clean. If you do have issues in the whites of OLEDs, you'll see it in scenes such as this. It is extremely clean. No banding, even at 5% that I could see, and nothing in the whites. No DSC. All around, again, extremely impressive. And I had high expectations as I've seen it before, but seeing it in person, spending time with it, I was expecting to not be as impressed. And I was very impressed. Samsung has excellent upscaling as well. Processing is very good. Chances are it has jumped into probably the best gaming panel as well, as Samsung has only really lacked gaming in regards to having less HDMI 2.1s and disturbing or disabling their local dimming on their LEDs. However, this is an OLED. And with the saturation, the color volume, and the peak brightness, I can't see it being beat for gaming. In many ways, it just cut the line. Here's our good friend Jennifer Gala. Amazing content by Jennifer. Special shout out to Jennifer and the HDR Super channel. But even the accuracy of skin tones, again, out of the box is a huge no-no for Samsung, and it looks beautiful out of the box. In our last demo, which will be back into the Lion demo, we will disable some of the features, add them, subtract them, and you'll see how it looks. But again, I'm looking for headroom. What's accurate doesn't always matter to me. It's what you like. And if you're a purist, then you're a purist. You can make this panel look however you like. The key is if you want to let it off its chain, it can be a monster. And it can happen within a few clicks, which is something Samsung has always been known for. This reminds me very much of the Q9FN from many years ago, but it's an OLED. Didn't see any issues with motion, no stuttering. Now, as I move into one of our last demos, this will be in filmmaker mode here, which will have more natural colors. Even though this is a very vibrant image, you can easily go into filmmaker or movie for the more accurate presets. But feeling in a way like you're disarming something that is fully weaponized. These are more accurate demos anyway, and by taking away the saturation, putting it in a more accurate preset, it still looks fantastic. This green that you're seeing here always looks like this no matter what panel it's on. But really can't wait to see the larger sizes. And the Qd-Oled, having come in when it did at the very beginning of the TV season, is setting the entire TV world upside down. Has me very excited about what's to come. This is a first effort by Samsung. And you would think they've been doing OLEDs for many, many years, which in fact they have. But for display technology, for TVs, incredible. Didn't notice any ABL at all, no dimming at all, even if I paused it, which you'll see shortly. In our last demo, one of my favorite demos, you look into the skybox, you'll see the differences in the picture settings here, and see that as we move them around and switch them, how the stars appear and reappear. I'm sorry, you can't really see the menu, but you can see how the differences in presets change the image so drastically. You see how the skybox and the stars show up. I like that. A lot of times you can only make an LED look like an LED and an OLED look like an OLED. I feel like here you can actually do both as we run it. See how the stars disappear, but how contrast enhancer really does change the image. The lions look absolutely 3D. We will disable that. But we are in standard, and we'll actually go back and let this demo run again. But I want it to run within pop. You can also change the shadow detail. We will leave it here in standard. And when you look at it, you can see the skybox, see the detail in the stars, the specular highlights that LEDs can't attain. Absolutely beautiful. So much color in the reds, the orange. And I know I'm late to seeing it, but I am so grateful. Again, special thank you to Robert, Wendy, and Leanne. Make sure you check the description below and consider making your next AV purchase through Value Electronics. I will get back there to what will be today, as I'm filming this in the middle of the night, and I will do some gaming on it. And we have much more exciting content to come. Or content, I should say, comment. But absolutely stunning. Very excited for the future of Qd-Oled. And for me, it does live up to the hype. Blown away by the color, the detail, and peak brightness, as well as the vibrancy. Absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your kindness and your friendship. I will see you in the comments. Take care. Love you guys.